I am Multi-Topic Talk. I bring you a new review. On this channel, we talk about movies, TV shows, and during the weekend, we talk a bit about politics as well. We react to things, and here we are. Hopefully, all of you will enjoy the playback. Let's get into If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. We will spoil the entire movie in case you missed it. It's a very fun drama. Let's get into it. So, again, this is a second warning. We will spoil the entire movie of If I Had Leg, I'd Kick You. We will start by getting into the plot, and then we will get into my review. So, I will admit one thing before we dive deep into the plot. Many things most likely flew over my head. I need a second viewing to fully grasp and understand every aspect of the movie. I think that movie is artsy, if we could call it that way. There's so many good aspects. It's a movie about motherhood and escaping accountability. It's a fascinating movie. I really enjoyed it. So now let's get into the plot, and we will also get to take a look to the Wikipedia page of that movie because that's part of the process over here on Multi-Topic Talk. Let's do this. There we go. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Directed by Mary Brunstein, written by Mary Brunstein, produced by Sarah Murphy, Ryan Zacharias, Ronald Brunstein. Maybe they're related. Josh Safdie, Ailey Bush, Connor Kanan, Richie Doyle. So many producer. It's fascinating. There's more producer than actors in the movie. It's also fascinating. The movie starred, or is starring, I should say, Rose Byrne, Conan O'Brien. I've heard these names. Daniel MacDonald, Christian Slater. Yeah, Christian Slater is the new Dexter dad in Original Sin. That's kind of funny. ASAP Rocky. I thought he was an artist. Yeah, easy, damn rapper. I was right. Cinematography, Christopher Messina, edited by Lucien Johnston. Production companies, 824, Central Group, Fat City. Distributed by 824. Release date at the Sundance, January 24th, 2025. October 10th, 25 in the United States and in Canada as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. So yeah, the movie had a running time of 114 minutes. The country was the United States. The language was English, and it's fascinating how it did a box office at 527,556. My best guess, this was a very, very low budget movie. That's why we don't really see how much the movie did cost. So that's fascinating. So let's get into the plot. The plot is quite basic. Mother struggles at raising a daughter alone while her husband is in the military on missions. Daughter is sick and has a tube going through her, and apparently daughter needs to eat certain amount of food, but she doesn't want to. Mother is a therapist addicted to substance that alters her mind. I try to remain YouTube friendly, but you get a grasp of it. Mother have clients that don't help themselves the same way she doesn't help herself because of a neglecting landlord apartment of mother as a hole on its ceiling. Therefore, mother and daughter lives in a hotel where they get to meet colorful people like that really annoying cashier girl and that uh, that person that uses substance as well as some kind of neighbor. So this is the plot here, and it's about mental illness. It's about neglecting yourself. Everyone neglects something and someone in that movie. The mother neglects her daughter, and the same kind of situation happens with one of the clients of the main character. And it's just fascinating. That movie is something else. Now, this is the review part where I go into it and I share my thoughts on the movie. And I will be honest, I had only two issues, but I feel like there's so many more things to enjoy outside of these two issues. So let's get into the issues. The first issue, the pacing wasn't great. Many scenes throughout told the same thing, and some of the scenes could have been trimmed down. I think the runtime could have been like 20 minutes shorter or so. Uh, so yeah, that's really all I felt. Now my second issue, tone wasn't all great, especially in a scene where the humor was all about how hypocrite the main character was. Unfortunately, this scene was dealing with a serious matter and issue. By making a joke there, it broke the tone and seriousness of the discussion that was going on. The joke may have been good, it was simply misplaced. And again, I think that movie was really good at having like really dark humor, and I think that's parts of the point of that movie. But again, I think during this specific moment, I can't remember the exact word and the joke. All I remember is they were speaking about accountability, and the mother was like screaming and shaming everyone for not being accountable of anything, and she was basically the same. And that should have been, I feel like, one of these serious moments, but they really played it as a joke, and it kind of bothers me. Again, I think that movie is filled with dark humor, but that specific scene just didn't work for me. You deal with a serious matter and it just doesn't land. So these were my issues with that very fun movie. I had a great experience. Let's share the things to enjoy. Many things are up to interpretation. Twists and turns were great. The movie was amazing at showing how the main character was unfit to be a mother. She's kind of forced into it. And she also tells herself, like, yeah, I'm not made to be like that stay at home mom. They made it clear and obvious that's not her higher call or higher purpose, because she really sucks at it. Like she wanders around by night. She never stays at the hotel to make sure the daughter is okay, and she also locks herself out at some point in the movie, and that was very funny. Um, but yeah, the next thing, sound effects were solid, the actors were great. The movie was about taking accountability, the humor was great, the characters were enjoyable, the mother was hypocrite and honest at the same time, which is fascinating. The main character was really complex, and she also bring a very special perspective on motherhood. She was like, yeah, I kind of regret having a kid, and that's the kind of things that a lot of people have regret for. And I think a lot of feminists weaponized it against the family unit, which is kind of bad. But to get back to the movie, it just addresses parents in a unique way, and that's great. We need more of that. The characters were enjoyable. The kid felt like a kid. The plot was entertaining. The movie was entirely seen through the lead eyes. A lead always under the influence of some substance, making her a biased, selfish, and unreliable narrator. She's a confusing character meant to confuse the viewer to make a better immersion for the viewer. Therapy was well addressed. Theme of mental illness and struggle around pregnancy and motherhood. And again, I think that movie was really good at highlighting stuff we don't see often in media. And I also think that movie is a very, very unique experience. Um, you cannot trust what's going on with the mother, and you cannot trust what she says or does. And she is also at the verge. She is also about to collapse because she has too much on her shoulders, and most of that burden is, let's be honest, and it's sad, but it is what the movie tried to tell you. Most of that burden is being a mom, a single mom, because the dad is overseas in the military and that kind of stuff. So that movie depicts very well how someone can have too much on their shoulders. She's unfit to be a mother, and that's the tragedy of that movie. She's forced into that role, and yeah, I I think I've said enough thing about that big review of that movie. I think the movie itself deserves a 9.5 out of 10. Now, this is a segment maybe you have been waiting for, the Rotten Tomato segment. Let's get into it. If I had a leg, I'd kick you. So, I will timestamp this as 12:29. 12:29. I can already bet without really reading too much into it. I can already tell lots of people will criticize the movie and they will not have understood anything about it. So let's read out what people had to say. Adam Graham, Detroit News. Bronstein does a tremendous job of placing viewers inside Linda's head. I do agree on that. You understand her mental state because the movie drops the audience inside her headspace without a net. And it's true, and the entire movie is really through her eyes, and you really get to feel sorry about her. And I felt so many things while watching that movie. That movie had emotion in it, going through and through. E-rated B. The next one says it's a bold, claustrophobic movie that won't work without burn. Can I agree with that? Sonia Rayo. Surprisingly enough, she gave it 3 out of 4, so that's a 7.5 out of 10. Sarah Michelle Feathers. As difficult as it may be to watch, and as much as it can assault the senses and create an anxiously icky feeling of abhorrent devastation, Burns' career best work, makes Bronson's first feature-length drama since 2008. He's absolutely essential. Rated 3 out of 4, so another 7.5 out of 10. I think it was made on purpose because she's not well. The main character is not well, and I think the acting did a great job at portraying that. If I had leg, I'd kick you does manage to end on a hopeful note, but despite that, and its director talent, it still emerges as a haunted house carnival ride. Interesting. Only a cool tomato there. Now let's take a look to the audience reviews. Roy J. Interesting creative choices. Oscar level performance from Byrne. Unfortunately, a really stressful subject, so hard to enjoy with a 3 out of 5, so that'd be a 6. And I cannot blame him because it's mental illness, it's motherhood. If you're a guy, you cannot relate that much, but you can relate to other aspect, do you? She's not well, and I think it's genderless. Like, you can be a man and not being well, and you can be a woman and not being well as well. It's only well here. All we need now is wind. I needed to share that, man. Gosh, the puns are bad today. Okay, next one, Keith. Like Uncut Gem, but about moms. 4.5 out of 5. You know what? I need to take a look to that movie, Uncut Gem. I want to see more movies like If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Okay, next up. Jane ZM. Well made and acted, but hard to watch. Such sadness. I agree 100%. Did not get the ending. You know what? I'm with that person. I said, like, in the intro, I didn't get everything about that movie. I'm with that person. Now that person hated that movie, but, like, I still enjoyed it, but I get that person 100%. Now we will have another segment because like we like segments here. That movie is the 2025 movies, and as of right now, I've seen 120, but my goal is 150 movies that came out this year, and I have 2 months, so my guess is I can do it. So that's the next segment here. We will take a look to my letterboxd. And I will share where that movie places itself in that ranking. So that's the segment. The letterboxd segment. Okay. 1729. Okay, let's get into it. So this is only movies from 2025. Yes, I know. My topic is the most hated movie from this year. And I really enjoyed Superman. Companion is just wow. Nobody 2, I liked it. These movies are just pure golden. Black Phone 2 was a very surprising movie. Now let's go down until we find that movie. If I Had Leg, I'd Kick You. It's right underneath J20, right above Sorry Baby. And it's kind of funny because Sorry Baby and If I Had Leg, I'd Kick You, I think have very similar ideas. I feel like it's not necessarily the same movie, but they are interesting. They give very very unique and interesting aspect to the kind of stuff they want to address. So that's fascinating. How they're like really like close from each other like that. But yeah, as of right now, the worst movie this year is That Thing. That Thing is godly awful, and I think that was made on purpose, but I must call it out. So yeah, this was the letterboxd segment. I don't know if I will make that segment permanent. We will see. But this was today's show. Mainstream movie reviews. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I give it a 9.5. I really like That Thing. That was a very fun experience. Top tier movie. Now, coming next on the channel, we will talk about Politics Saturday. That's the usual show. The Politics show is on Saturday. We will also talk later in like half an hour. We will talk about Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. And next Monday, We talk about the new Emma Stone movie. I can't pronounce the title. I will get to see that movie on Friday. Next Tuesday, Mr. Replay, and there's another movie from the 90s. Can't remember which one. Stay tuned for that. And maybe next Wednesday, I will do another show where I talk about several movies. I don't know. We will see. With that, I am out. Have a good night.